So this was the deal that was going to get me out of my day job. This was the once I found out what I was going to do, this was what it was. So we knew we needed something high cash flowing. So this was with my mentor at the time. We needed something high cash flowing to replace my day job. And that's why we decided to go down the HMO route. Again, I hadn't done any HMOs. We just thought having one of this size might be useful from a cash flow perspective. And when you run the numbers to do it in flats or keep it as commercial or do a HMO, then it was just a no-brainer. So how I found the building, it was actually my father-in-law's building. Ironically, it's the building I first met my wife. So it was my father-in-law's gym, and I trained there, and my wife used to work there every now and then. So this is going back 20 years nearly. So my father-in-law ran it as a gym. It was a bit of a tough time for gyms, as you remember.
I own two gyms myself. I know it's a very, very tough business during the COVID. Yeah.
He didn't want to lose the gym as such to, some random guy buying it. He still wanted to operate it as a gym. So he knew if I could buy the gym and the deal that I would let him still, operate his gym in there, it just meant he was just trying his best to keep the gym going as long as possible, really. I was well aware that at some point the gym would end up, he was of an age where he was never going to do it forever. So it was always a bit of a longer term investment for me because it's, 5,000 square foot building, good area. It was just always going to be a great building to hold anyway. But then you try getting a loan from a bank in COVID for a gym. The banks, they were very risky with lending anyway, but trying to lend to a business that had a national shutdown was another real big hurdle for us. Hence why the borrowing rates we had to lend was 9.9%. That was the cheapest rate I could get at the time. But the numbers just sort of still stacked up, and that would have probably put a lot of people off, I'd imagine. I had to put a 50% loan to value, and it was 9.9%.
That's painful. So
You wouldn't do that now.
No. So tell us about it then. So the vision for it is what, the whole thing's going to an HMO, or you're keeping a commercial element part of it?
So we got some plans done. I used a local architect first. He had a massive build cost. He could get 11 rooms in it. It just didn't sit right with me. The numbers didn't work right for 5,000 square foot for 11 rooms. Didn't seem right. I then reached out to a more specialist HMO architect, which is Andrew, who I mentioned before, who'd done the Duck as well. He had a look at the scheme for me. He originally drew 17 rooms in, a little bit of back and forward with the council. We've settled with 16. So we've managed to get 16 really good size rooms in there. And that was the plan, really, to just fully do it as the HMO, from top to bottom, get some development finance, build it out, refinance it, and then hopefully the cash flow then would have allowed me to finish my job.
This is quite a big step up in terms of like the types of deals, and particularly the kind of type of building work, it sounds like. So how did you find kind of moving into that space and working with like sort of larger contractors and different types of building things? Did you have a project manager, or how did that work?
Yeah, it's interesting, really, because again, I probably took some risks that other people wouldn't advise, but I was really keen on keeping my budget, to schedule. So I've done a lot of the developments which were smaller, a couple of commercial conversions and residential property, just general refurbs, back to brick refurbs, but nothing of this size and scale. But there is the trusted builder that I use for it. He'd never done a large HMO before either. So he'd done some other jobs for us, and he still works for us now. But he was keen to try it. I was keen to try it. So it was almost like we were both using it as a bit of a benchmark to see if this was something that would work and if we could do it. So you could say it was risky, but it managed me to keep my price down. The key thing was the working relationship I already had with him. He knew, it was my first one of this, and I knew it was his. So we did help each other throughout the whole project, and I played a real big part in managing this one myself. So it did take up a lot of time, but I was almost on site every day while this was going ahead.
Success leaves clues. Discover what the pros do differently at ypn.plus.